Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first and only airing of the Dickinson Wears Prada podcast. We're your hosts, Brad Hansell and Mikelinich. In today's episode, we'll be focusing on the non-profit Gomito, based out of Bologna, Italy. And ever since 2010, have been making it their mission to improve the quality of inmates at the all-female Bologna Dozza prison. They do so by giving inmates the opportunity to make beautiful bags, aprons, backpacks, and other accessories, which we'll be talking about today. For their work, inmates are given a stipend, which they can send home to their families if need be. This allows inmates to do something with their time in prison that is beneficial to their lives, careers outside of prison, and Gomito has continued to do so for many years, helping these inmates with something to do and a useful skill outside.
Yeah, and they originally started as a project that was dedicated to helping the women of Bologna. So they weren't originally just only this seamstress company that was based from the prison itself. It was more so like an evolution of like an idea to help these women who didn't really have a chance before, and were more often like left out to dry. It was mostly like foreign and Italian mothers, and they didn't have very strong relationships that like around their lives, and there were people who saw that and came together to create this to fill that kind of void. And after their first few years to being of service to women, they shifted their priority to the planning and promotion of educational services for children. And within this like kind of field, the same women to whom the project was made for initially, they found employment doing this. And as beautiful as this is, Gomito would also again change form to the mold that they hold today. And the Gomito tailoring workshop is today like their main activity for the NPO. And for women who are prisoners in the Dozza prison of Bologna, Gomito provides the opportunity to acquire a new professional dimension and a decent and paid job, which is phenomenal for people that are locked up. It is a lifestyle that like you would only hear in such an advanced society. And I think the fact that people went out of their way to set this up for prisoners is a beautiful thing. And with the hope that this training and work experience can be taken advantage of once they return to their full freedom, if they're not served a long enough sentence, it's pretty beautiful. I believe they already have a couple of inmates who have left the prison who have continued to work for them, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple. Okay, well, we actually got to, not in-person interview, but get some questions from two inmates currently at Dozza. Maria and Elizabeth, sorry if I said that wrong. But like you were saying, Nick, in focusing on Elizabeth here, she actually talked about the opportunity of just like practicing your craft, having this creative freedom. Is a big step for, she like had worked in tailoring before, but nothing super intensive, nothing like to really make a career out of, but she had she's working on it now, and I think intends to go back after she's out, if she isn't already. But we actually wanted to talk about, like, when we first heard of Gomito, we were pretty skeptical of the creative freedom they had.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, to be honest, it sounded like, free labor. Like, this happens in America, but it is not wholesome at all.
No, it's a lot more.
Yeah, but definitely the opposite of what we have here. We were just interested in, like, the questions we had were, like, what creative freedom do you have? Do you ever get to see anyone wear what you have? And if you don't have any creative freedom, what are you being told? Just go make this, put it together.
Yeah.
And actually, they shared that they actually do, surprisingly, see people often around wearing their products and accessories.
Right, and
Like, I think
originally I thought that the prison was Gomito was incorporated in the prison. As a matter of fact, they commute to the site of Gomito. So I get along the way, I guess pretty cool. To and from work, they get to see people who actually wear their stuff, and that's pretty beautiful.
Yeah, talk about brightening your day. Going to make a product that you see someone use, and I think it was Maria said that it actually brings her a little bit of joy seeing that. Like, she doesn't, not in the sense she doesn't want to make more, but she wants the product to last so long because, like, you get attached to it. And that made me definitely think about slow fashion, what you've been talking about. Yeah. That emotional connection to the clothing you have, rather than just, getting something new every couple months. Going to actually takes, they recycle materials from these fast fashion brands and use them in their own, incredibly sustainable.
Yeah, that is very sustainable.
Quite literally fighting fast fashion with slow fashion.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to see. But when we talked about the creative decision making, she's pretty honest with the creative decisions. In the interview, she said that they were pretty free-flowing with what they could make. Yes. She said they were quite autonomous even in the choice of the fabrics.
Mm-hmm.
But then someone came in about a year ago who definitely took over a little bit. She even used the term "my little seamstresses," which I'm sure wasn't in a good taste. Yeah. But it definitely seems like the creativity has been toned down a little bit. But she said that they found that balance. The balance being the person who came in is, I wouldn't say a creative director.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they have that role a little bit, but Maria talked about it a little bit. They're kind of taking the freedom away of what they can combine. So to me, without either of them explicitly saying it, it sounds like they have someone who's really experienced in creating these products coming in and
right, like someone who wants to sell.
Not exactly
mm-hmm.
Not exactly the qualities. The qualities going up with this new decision making. It sounds like
100%,
and it sounds like they see that and kind of accept it.
Yeah. And both of them, Maria and Elizabeth, were very they weren't very okay, I should say, with the fact that they couldn't make exactly what they want anymore. But I think that through and what I understood, they were willing to compromise with the new employee or creative director. We didn't exactly get a title on her.
It's a learning process anyway.
Yeah.
They may have made some mistakes in the past when combining a certain fabric with leather.
Yeah.
I know that Maria mentioned that.
Yeah.
With working with leather's hard, and you can only combine it with certain things. But I mean, that's skills that you're picking up for that possible career outside.
Probably takes some years to learn in the first place, anyway. How to do it perfectly.
They hired the supervisor. Maybe that's the best term for it. Fashion supervisor?
Yeah.
Does that sound fascist?
Yeah. So as far as their the products go that they make under this supervisor, I know that all of them are made by hand, which is pretty cool. They don't use many machines. A lot of their sewing is literal hand sewing, which I kind of admire. You don't get too many products that are like that anymore. And each item, in fact, is a one of one. They make no duplicates. So it kind of makes sense how they were able to have creative freedom before, because they're not mass producing items. They get to take these scrap materials from these big brand companies that they were just going to throw away anyway. So they're helping the environment, and then two, they're making unique pieces that are used with the same material that higher end fashion is made with, like real leather. And for one bag in particular, I saw an ad on their Facebook, and it looked like it had the inner pockets. It was lined. It was made with real leather. and it looked really like beautiful. Only like I would buy that for like my mom or like my stepsister or something like that. Like
Or yourself.
or myself. Like honestly, hey, like they have some pretty cool backpacks. Like I'm not gonna lie, I really
Pretty good designs in there. Just awesome. Furry hobo bags. Those were nice. What really stuck out to me was that the video that they made, they have articles on them too. They basically have these online ads for their products, and they're actually pretty informative. Like you said, you were sold on it basically immediately after watching like a 8-10 second video.
Exactly.
Somewhere around that length. I mean, it gave you what you wanted to know, even without knowing about the company that much.
Yeah.
But I think especially during COVID, they said that they took a little bit of a hit because they used to be mostly word of mouth, you know, like satisfied customers would just talk to other people.
Oh, yeah, well, they would. I know in the interviews with Sylvia, who was one of the heads of Gomito, she said that how they got the most customers was handing out flyers and talking in person and building relationships that way. And I could imagine that the COVID kind of knocked that kind of marketing out.
Yeah. So Hansell cut down more recently. A little less
Facebook
of that.
is probably very important, and other social medias that they might be inclined to take up on.
Yeah, and on their website too, their news page has definitely had a resurgence recently. Like, I'd say in the last 2 months, they've probably had 4 articles where if you went back for the past 10, there's like a span of 2 years, you know? So they're on the trend of, you know, picking it up because of COVID. They know that they have to move online.
Yeah.
And that's what, fascinated me about it is, like, I feel like we could almost make one for them.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I think the masks, because I looked and they don't want to have one for the masks. And what a topical product, you know?
Yeah.
They make masks already. Like, it's on their website. They just haven't gotten the message out.
Yeah.
Other than they do have a Mother's Day thing with masks, but that's just like maybe it's because they think that their masks are just like whatever, but I don't know. I mean, the fact that the brand has a story, it's like
you're a little more inclined to buy from them than to just get or make your own random mask or to get a mask from the store. Like,
and you know what also made me think of, you even said it, mask from the store. I'm walking around in these like KN95 masks, you know, like the white ones.
Yeah.
The little nose bendy thingy. They're not bad, but they're definitely not super comfortable. I don't want to wear one for hours at a time, even though in some, you know, you have to.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Depends on certain circumstances, like if you're at work or something. But they have like these higher quality cloth ones, and I've always been on the fence about jumping that one, but Dickinson sent me one, so I've been kind of transitioning to those.
Yeah.
Because they are just a little more like breathable, I'd say.
100%. They're more breathable, and they essentially do the same things as...
Yeah, but I mean, the higher quality you go, I am willing to pay more, and it feels like going to a Gomito could just start pumping these up too.
And they already get the great materials that are left over from these big brands, so like you already know you're getting like a pretty good quality mask. Like,
not even that, it's a story too. Like, there's a story behind the brand making it for you. It's not like you're walking in the 7-Eleven and picking up a American flag mask.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, it's true.
It's definitely different. I mean, I think we could even write the article for them. I feel like it's not hard to sell these guys, and I feel like if permission, we could even go to Ellen and Julia about this. We could ask if we could write a news section or Facebook post for their masks, and or video, or a podcast.
Honestly,
and get their approval to post it, because I mean, I think it wouldn't even be that hard to post. Maybe they're even in the process of making one. I wouldn't be surprised. And you know, we're going into this second wave.
Yeah.
So they're only going to get more popular because people decided that
I was just about to say
laws are, you know, suggestions are not for me. But anyway, we're going into the second wave, so they're not going away. Cases are going up. Masks are just going to get more relevant. I think if there's a time ever to make this article and let people know that you have these high quality masks, it's now, and we can help them out with that.
110%. So yeah, like speaking of the COVID situation in Italy, I was speaking with my friend Diana the other day. We actually went to high school and middle school together on Long Island. That's where I'm from. But her whole life, she has been like a dual citizen. She's fully Italian, and most of her family lives in Bologna. They're from Padova, but she's centered now there. Whenever she goes to Italy, which is probably like half the year now, she lives there. And so I wanted to get like her input on COVID, and I actually mentioned that we were studying Gomito, and I wanted to get her thoughts on the matter, and I wanted to see if she ever heard of it, because she's a frequent of Bologna. She lives there, and she's always there. But unfortunately, she never heard of Gomito, but she definitely knows where the Dozza prison is, and she knows that they have the all-female section, and she on first impressions of me speaking about Gomito, she was very receptive, because she knows what it's like to be a woman in Italy. But of course, she can't understand what it's like to be like a mother in Italy, or like an immigrant from somewhere else besides America. Because let's face it, if you're an American immigrant, you're pretty much fine there. She was pretty happy that they were able to resume function through COVID. It wasn't necessarily like easy, and I told her about the complications that we heard about with our interview with Sylvia. And we spoke a little bit more also about the prisons and the justice system there. And she thinks that it's there still is a bias amongst like Italian police officers.
Some of the inmates interviewed said that too.
Yeah, I know it's a little off topic, but like we got into a little bit of a tangent about that. Unfortunately, she wasn't. This was like a sparing phone call, so I didn't get to exactly capture her full words. But she definitely was like kind enough to talk to me about this for a little bit, and it was pretty cool. She also, like, when I showed her the products, she was like, "Wait, this was made by them? This was the inmates?" And
good sign.
Yeah, very good sign. And I think she actually she's there right now. She's been living in Bologna since the pandemic started. She's been there with her boyfriend, and like I think she like the other day, I think she went there to Gomito because we spoke about the Google Maps.
Word of mouth marketing.
Yeah, word of mouth marketing. Like, yeah, I guess it does really work well for them. I still think they need to hop on those. Keep being consistent with their products on Facebook, though. Like, making those videos and consistently like showing their products in a more visual way, because that's the way forward for our generation. It's how we get advertised to consistently day in and day out. And especially
now too.
Yeah. Like it's not going to be easy for them to continue the classic word of mouth like they've been doing. Flyers work, but not too many people are walking around now. There's a lot of people are going to be reclused. They're not going to want to catch the disease. They've already seen what it's done to Italy. It's a shame, but this doesn't mean that they can't still be successful as a NPO. It'd be beautiful.
Yeah, well, I did on their Facebook page recently. They did post a video interview of someone who runs their e-commerce website.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd assume that they'd also run the social media as well.
Yeah.
Or like someone, there's like a social media manager.
Yeah.
So I'd assume that role's gonna get bigger and bigger as Gomito expands. But it really is just all about right now, like focusing on online. Because, that one word of mouth customer that they got
isn't gonna last them very long. Because
they even posted earlier about they're letting people into the store, like the physical store, but you have to go by appointment, wear your mask, do all the social distancing. So maybe baby steps to get back in. But again, that was just on their Facebook page and their news section of their website. So I found out about it from there. Make an appointment.
Yeah, next steps for Gomito to continue to make those beautiful videos like they did for their hobo bag, because that even piqued my interest, and I'm not their target audience with that bag. So I definitely think they should do one. Obviously, people know what a mask is at this point, but I think they should do one for it, just displaying what it looks like, because
and the quality of it.
And the quality.
That's one of them.
110%. They also have beautiful aprons. They have some dresses. I saw a couple on the website. They have pretty cool backpacks that, if given the chance, I will 100% buy one. And they have borsetti, which is little purses.
Well, the biggest thing is still their message, as an MPO.
Yes.
What they're doing for the community, how they're helping people.
And if they properly integrate that.
Second chance may be a little cheesy, but it's definitely helping people, get a career, get a job, maintain an income when they leave, or even, send that stipend to their families. So, and, in my opinion, I think their biggest asset is their story. They're not just some 22-year-old who has their own website,
who's making masks,
drop shipping from somewhere else, benefiting off outsourcing. But
no, they've changed people's lives, and they've made them better for these women in the prison, and the women who got out of the prison, which is probably such a phenomenal feeling, and they're probably in such gratitude to Gomito for helping them out that much. All right, so that's going to conclude the podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you all listening get a chance to check out their products, because we all know it's a beautiful message, and we all know they make beautiful things. So it'd be really great if you guys could check that out. I'm Nick.
I'm Brad, and again, thanks for coming out, guys. Great company, great message. One-of-one products, not outsourced. Great story too.
Sustainable.
Honest conversation starter in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Fighting fast fashion, helping the community. Take your choice.
Take your choice. Thank you, guys.